What's up, weebs? Welcome back to Melina.
Are we really doing it from there?
Sure. I'm Notorious. Join me once again today, Shaun.
Tell me, listeners, can you guess that this is an end of session recording? From that fucking of an opening?
And Melina.
I don't know if I'm alive.
Are any of us alive?
What is life? What is being alive?
Let's
to you?
discuss this at
Yeah,
length for
No.
about
I
an hour.
think it's mostly. So what are we doing today?
I don't fucking know.
Talking about what we've been watching.
Sure.
Host.
Yeah.
I guess. I did not say I was the host.
You always introduce this. You're basically the host.
Sure. I don't know why I'm going in my notes as if I have anything written down.
I just have my IMDb open
nothing.
up.
I guess I'll open my letterbox, even though I don't think that's going to be that helpful.
You can skip this episode, dear listener, if you want. No one's gonna blame you.
Y'all don't want to hear about me having seen Darkman?
The fuck is Dark Man?
I feel like I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, you have. It's Sam Raimi,
Oh, there we go.
starring Liam Neeson as not Batman. It's
No.
not Batman.
Darkman.
It's Darkman.
Which sounds bad, actually, when you say it out loud like as many times.
Yeah, it is one of those cult classic bad is good. You know, it's so fun. It tries to do the whole, we're just gonna talk technological nonsense and pretend it makes sense. I'm like, no, you can't, no,
I love technobabble.
no, you can't do that.
That's just the Invisible Man.
Yes. Yeah. He was trying to get the rights for Shadow Man, I believe.
Sure, I guess,
Well,
like,
yeah.
another person who I've never heard of.
And the studio couldn't get him the rights, so he was like, fuck it. I'll make my own little thing. And it's...
Shadow Man is a video game, from what I can see here.
Oh, do they mean... Oh my god, yeah.
Unless it's a different thing entirely.
It's... Like, I
It might
recommend
be a
it.
different thing entirely, because the video game came out in 1998, 99, whereas this movie came out in 1990.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably a different thing.
But yeah, my god, what a clusterfuck. You can tell, because it was so bad that you have to Google it afterwards. Like, what happened, guys? What happened? Massive reshoots and a non-director approved final edit.
Of
I'd
course.
like to state this movie has an 83 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Should not. Let me
Is that the critic score or the audience score?
I am verifying. It is the critic score. The
What?
audience score is 60.
That's
oh my
still
god.
too high. It's... Oh my god.
That is a very young Liam Neeson.
It is. And it's so stupid. They try to pull all his tropes in, and you could tell the budget was kind of low, and it just makes for some real fun bullshit.
Yeah.
A final scene in like an unfinished skyscraper where you're like, wow, this is going on for like 40 minutes. They try to put humor in, but you could tell it's a reshoots thing, so it's
Yeah.
just super unbalanced. For some reason, they say, oh, he burned most of his body, so now his reactions are extreme, his emotions are extreme.
That's
but
how it
only,
works.
Yeah, that only becomes apparent when he's angry, because of course.
'Cause that's
Not
the-
when he
that
doesn't
is-
get extra happy. No.
It is that is the only
Yeah.
emotion that matters, don't you know?
Yeah, men only have one emotion.
Yeah.
Angry. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, shame neither of you have seen it. But oh my god. Have a
Well,
drink.
I mean, it's so critically
have a
acclaimed.
drink.
I
Yeah, no,
probably should.
absolutely.
To
Yeah.
be fair, the average score on Letterboxd is also 3.4, so it's like about 60%.
Rotten Tomatoes don't lie to me. Rotten Tomatoes is the foundation. of-
3.4 stars, so it's like average of about 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh,
So about
it's just
70%.
IMDb 6.4. Yeah. It's too high.
Critically
That's crazy.
acclaimed.
I've also been watching classics. Requiem for a Dream.
Uh,
And boy, does the music carry that.
That feels like a hot take, but I don't know enough about Requiem for a Dream to dispute it.
Have you seen it, Michael?
I've seen some of it. That is the movie that Darren Aronofsky made when he couldn't get the rights to Perfect Blue.
Yep.
Man, that's a theme for these things.
Yeah.
For these right now.
Yeah. No, it's once again I recommend, but boy, does the A plot fucking suck.
Did you watch the theatrical or the extended cut? 'Cause I
Theatrical.
think theatrical. Okay.
Thank fuck, I couldn't stand more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Jared Leto in your A plot. Not dealing with that. And their B plot. I'm gonna semi-spoil the B plot because I think it's so fantastic and fun and right in my wheelhouse. Because it's Jared Leto's mom, who gets obsessed with weight loss pills and wants to be on television, on like this crazy talk shows.
Yeah.
And becomes so obsessive with it that she starts taking the medication wrong, so she starts having these surrealist dreams about being on a TV show. It's right up my fucking alley. And that's so much more interesting than Jared Leto being like, wow, selling drugs is bad.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, you have his mom who's in her apartment, her fridge is shaking, the whole world is falling apart. He's like, damn, it's kind of crazy that, like, we shouldn't do drugs.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yeah. But music carries it way too much, unfortunately. Yeah. Then Synecdoche, New York. Also very good.
What?
Synecdoche, New York. From, Charlie Kaufman.
I like your funny word, magic lady.
I am taking a total guess.
Philip Seymour Hoffman starring.
That's not helpful. I don't know how to spell the name of the movie.
Just put. I always thought it was Syndicog. So if you do anything close to that, Common New York,
helpful.
you'll find it.
SC, like what does it start with?
SYNE.
There you go.
Synecdoche.
Stare at.
it. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of my type of shit where it's someone in the entertainment industry who's kind of losing their mind, which I think we need more of nowadays. And I will be the change that I want to see.
Every movie should be perfect blue.
Every movie should be perfect blue. Look,
Hell
I
yeah, this
hate-
movie got 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Go.
Oh fuck, that's actually really highly rated on Letterboxd. They're
'Cause
over.
it's a classic.
Oh god, I can't actually tap it in a way I can see. 69,000
Yeah.
5-star ratings on Letterboxd.
Well, I'll stop talking about movies only I have seen and tell you guys I watched RoboCop.
Nice. Now that's a classic. That's a classic.
How well
Hell
has
yeah.
it aged?
Oh, you still haven't seen it, have you?
Not in full. I've seen clips of it, and back in lockdown, I did have it on as like background noise. I'm sure I've talked to you guys about this, but like that was near the beginning of lockdown, where basically every few nights I was drunk out of my mind.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
we
were all on the same
yeah. So
Yeah.
bit of haziness there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a great time.
Oh no, it's fine. That's my problem with it. It's fine. It's predictable as shit.
It's an
But-
80s action
It's not
movie.
meant to be like high art. It's
it's
just
not
a
profound.
fun like action movie.
I
Like
know, but-
you kind of know what you're in for the moment that is it what's his name? Not is it Peter Weller?
Yeah.
Yeah, walks into the factory place and gets shot to shit in
Yeah,
like graphic detail.
From what I heard, it's basically a parody of action movies from that time.
a little
Kinda.
bit. I think that's just like a Verhoeven
Okay.
thing. Because obviously he also did Starship Troopers and what was the other one? He did another big one, I think.
Yeah,
Galaxy Quest.
I don't know, Black Book, if that's familiar to anyone.
No.
Hollow Man, Showgirls, Basic
Total
Instinct.
Recall and Basic Instinct,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I need to watch more of his stuff. Netherlands represent, of course. Yeah, but this.
I heard he's a bit crazy.
Well, he is Dutch, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But so was Peter Weller. Like, he refused to be called anything but Robo
Yeah.
during the making that movie.
Which makes watching it so much fun.
Yeah.
There's something about, like the 80s, 90s being like, technology's gonna take over, guys. And we know exactly what it's gonna look
Yeah,
like.
it's that classic sort of cyberpunk idea of the future where like the future is going to have robots and cyborgs and the internet is going to stay exactly as it is now forever and ever and ever.
No way, it could be like bigger or better.
Everything's gonna be through cathode ray tubes.
Everything's gonna be scampity.
We're gonna have the future on cassettes. Hack the planet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hackers. I need to see Hackers though.
No, I would love to see a somewhat parody movie that takes place now, and it's from like a time traveling robot or some shit that comes into what the 21st century is really like. And it's like, oh, you don't. But the movies, they say by this point you should. It's like, yeah, man. There's a few AIs if you want to have a chat, but they're like most of the time they're not really good.
I thought when you said like there should be a parody that's like now, I was like, just watch 2014 RoboCop.
I was gonna say like that movie happened.
Yeah.
But does it take itself seriously?
Yes,
Yeah.
too
Oh,
much.
see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you see something like the original RoboCop, even Terminator had it a little bit. I was like, this fits in this time. If you try to do it now, I would say you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we need just parody versions where like we recognize
Uh-huh.
it's silly and we're just trying to have a good time.
Holds
Yeah.
up Blu-ray disc. Wow, a 60 gigabyte CD-ROM.
Wow, how much? You don't have to put in a different one?
Yeah.
Wow!
You don't have to put it in these square little container things. There's no
What's a gigabyte? We only had megabytes.
There's 2 gigas?
I only
That's like,
said that
wow,
because I
200?
think I only said that because I think fucking Pat Lever said something like that, like a 64
No,
gigabyte
yeah, they were like, what do
CD-ROM.
they need a 64 gigabyte CD-ROM for?
I just laughed at. I was like, well, they played the best version of X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, obviously.
Yeah. God, funny. Yeah. No, I want more stupid futuristic coming to now.
Yeah.
What?
The actual future and seeing how dull it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like so did you have the flying cars? I'm like, some guy's been saying he wants to do that. I don't think he did it.
You got jetpacks? I mean,
Like
Made out
we
of
got
water.
like they need like you need to be on water, so it's not like you could do much unless you're
Yeah.
in like fucking Venice.
yeah.
No one's tried to like rob Venice. I'm like, no.
No, it keeps sinking.
It'll do it itself, man. Like, what about New York? Is New York standing? I'm like, standing is a strong word.
Yeah, yeah.
They lost a little something
You know, don't
Yeah.
worry
in
about
2001.
Man, what happened?
Don't worry about
Sorry,
it.
taking RoboCop from the 80s to the 9/11 memorial. It's the whole movie. No one stopped them. I was like, I'm sorry, they're in the sky.
it. Yeah.
There's no security. Like, nah, they just kind of let them on the plane. Yeah. But when I flew here from LA, I had to give the tiny bottles. Yeah, we've not really advanced very far past that point, unfortunately. No, I'm writing that. the 80s RoboCop finds out about 9/11.
Oh my god.
And what
Oh.
other things have happened? Like, major war, but because it wasn't here, we don't really know.
I don't
Yeah.
really care.
Yeah, like stuff happened. You didn't help? Like, me? Nah.
What do you want me to do, boy?
Yeah, like, you didn't go fight in the war? Like, I would rather kill myself. I would much rather kill myself than enlist in the army, my god. But honor for your country!
Do you have robot soldiers yet? We have drones.
We have
Kinda
drones.
count.
We
Yeah.
control them with game controllers.
Yeah.
Ever heard of Logitech?
Yeah, and we had the submarine, dude. Let me tell you about the submarine. That'd be a fun time, just telling an old-timey robot
Yeah.
cop about the fucked up.
Old timey.
Just give him 20 minutes on Twitter. I think he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, so who's the president?
Just play him Fallout Boy's cover of We Didn't Start the Fire. It's a real thing where they updated the lyrics.
I know, and
It's bad. It's
It's-
so bad.
Great.
I don't think anyone could do it.
No.
No one could. And
No,
the
no,
fact
no,
that-
no.
Nah.
Yeah.
Even like the originals a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but because it's so long ago now, we're like, it's so
Who,
good.
Yeah.
who sung that song? Yeah.
Oh shit.
Billy.
It wasn't Billy Joel,
No.
no.
Always burning since the
'Cause I swear I
world's
read
been
something that
turning.
even
Oh,
like
it was Billy Joel.
Okay, yeah, because I swear I read somewhere that even Billy Joel is like, that wasn't my best work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you try to sum up a decade, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
good fucking luck.
Yeah.
You're gonna be wrong about things because shit ages.
Mm-hmm.
I think overall he did okay.
Yeah.
And it's a bop.
It's a song of lists.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's a very hopeful message of, yeah, shit's gonna happen whether we do something or not, so let's just not think about it.
Yeah.
It'll just the world will just keep on burning itself down again and again. And there's not much we will ever be able to do about it. Oh well.
I got here from RoboCop.
Yeah, I mean, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
What else have you been watching?
I just started Faulty Towers, as I talked to you guys about, which I think is so fun, and I'm shocked I've never seen it before. Because I think I mentioned that I'm working on a pitch for a hotel show. It works in a hotel, and it's just not been done in years and years.
Yeah.
And that's a gap in the market that I want to fill.
I only know of two.
I know of one, so.
Faulty Towers.
And
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
I forgot about Sweet Life
Yeah.
of Zack and Cody. I'm gonna be the next Sweet Life.
Yeah.
What about Faulty Towers? No.
Nah, that ain't where the real
There's
real
twins.
talent is.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to start watching that for research as well. Then,
Yeah,
so that's on my upcoming. But mostly just been watching some classic stuff. Manuel wants to watch all the pretentious things, so that's just sometimes good music. That's on the list.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. Soon I need to watch 2001 Odyssey. I don't want to. Space Odyssey. I know, but you have to have seen it.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Cinematography's great, music's great.
The rest.
Yeah. It's long.
Yeah, but
It's
you
kinda
just gotta
long.
get through it once so you can, mark done,
Yeah.
and then you're good.
I
The
can
rest of
wait.
your life.
Yeah.
I could take it or leave it right now, probably
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm been up to.
Mm.
You guys?
I mean, I'm gonna talk quite a bit about Red Dead.
On you go.
So I decided. Okay, so actually, a little bit of context. First, I decided to play the first Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
To
you
go
did.
all the way back since like the last time we did one of these. Just because I had it downloaded on Steam for a while, and because like alphabetically it's like the first thing that pops up. For the last like few years I've had it, I was like, I'm gonna get there eventually. It's a proof of concept as a
Yeah.
video game.
That's one way of putting it.
You're just annoyed because you couldn't get it to run.
No, it's, what I did replay of it, I realised they wanted to make an immersive sim, and yet couldn't fully commit to making that an interesting concept somehow, and then kind of just didn't do it for the second one.
I feel kind of receptive to the first one as that sort of interactive sim thing, because sometimes I can be a bitch for like immersion in games and stuff, as long as it's not like egregious or annoying.
Yeah.
Like actual sims sometimes.
Well, immersive sims like a whole genre of games, which specifically covers stuff like Deus Ex, System Shock, Dishonored, Vampire, so stuff like that, where it's like kind of. Even Assassin's Creed is not like full-fledged MSim. It is light MSim.
I don't think the Xbox even then could have handled
No.
it, because MSim was very much a PC gaming thing.
It's also something they've never really been able to recreate now, because just I don't think the space exists for them anymore.
Not really, not in this economy.
Not in this economy, no.
Not in this economy. But I tried it, and I do really like it, but bear in mind, for a good chunk of it, I had something else on in the background, because the thing about the first Assassin's Creed is, past the tutorial, it's the exact same formula. Nine times. Go to a city, and there's only 3 cities in the game, so you're repeating them like 3 times. Go to the bureau, do a bunch of side stuff that takes like 2 minutes each, which ranges from beat up this guy, climb this building,
Listen to these people,
capture these flags,
yeah,
spy on this person by sitting on a bench.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, all that, like, for each sequence, like 7-8 times, and times that by 9.
That's the MSim part right there. Is like, find your target, find the information, figure out what you need to do to take them down, except it just lacks all the creativity that MSims actually had.
Yeah, especially because like by the time you're on Unless you're me, who's more susceptible to this stuff sometimes. Sometimes I just like repetitive tasks that I can just do. I'm not diagnosed with anything.
Yeah.
But like, or you have something on in the background, it can be really boring, and most people are probably going to be done with the game by sequence 3 or 4. Especially sequence 4, they expect you to do 3 in a row without any break in between.
Yeah.
It is exhausting. But I finally got through it, and I kind of was sad that none of the games follow through on this sort of feel. Sometimes.
Yeah, no, I more so mean I don't think it would have worked if they kept going in that direction.
Yeah, maybe not. The thing is, after that, and especially after the next games that came after it with Ezio and stuff, the series kind of falls into monetization and the yearly cycle that they were going for, because they wanted to cod it in the sense that they wanted a release every year, so they rushed through a bunch of stuff.
Because that's always good.
It's always great when that happens, and I've kind of learned something that like every Assassin's Creed I play, it feels like it excels at one specific thing, and kind of flounders on everything else.
Yeah.
Because after I did that, I jumped all the way to Syndicate.
Yeah.
Because I marathoned a bunch of the Assassin's Creed game like a few years ago, and I was basically doing cleanup this time, and I hadn't played Syndicate in over 10 years. Did that, and I liked it a lot more than I did 10 years ago, but the thing is, you can feel it's a downgraded Unity in terms of how it plays.
Yeah. I prefer it to Unity.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes I did kind of miss a bit of the freedom that Unity's parkour system did, because a lot of Syndicates is very, I don't know, guided or static or
I don't know.
railroading.
I much prefer Syndicates because it gives you the zip line.
That's true.
And that immediately is just a...
I feel like you're just here for the zip line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you
I mean,
offer
it's
me a
needed
zip
for
line to get
Syndicate for
across...
how fucking tall those buildings
Yeah.
are. Anyway, good game, but it still felt like it was sort of lacking something. And then I also cleaned up some of the AC3 stuff I refused to do 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
then I played Liberation. It's on the PS Vita.
Yep.
It is a handheld AC game. That's all I can really say. And then while I was in the historical gaming high, I decided, you know what? I want quality. I want high quality. And I want Red Dead at 60 frames per second. Because it's on sale on PC. So I didn't even initially want to play it like fully at first. I just wanted to like see how the performance was. I played 100 hours of it now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And it is Rockstar's magnum opus.
Oh my god. That's...
I fucking love Red Dead Redemption 2. It is genuinely one of the best gaming stories I've ever played, or at least in recent years.
And continually hearing that from people makes me just not want to fucking play it.
Dude, the thing is, I think you'd really like it.
That's the thing. People keep telling me that, and it just makes me not want to play it because I'm only going to be disappointed.
That's how I feel with Doctor Who.
Wow, that's targeted.
Yeah, that is targeted. It really feels like sometimes I recommend a game to you guys and you're just like, fuck you. I hate that you like it.
No, for Red Dead 2, I've heard this since the day it came out in 2018. So it's like, it's hard to explain, but like when something's continually built up to be that good, it's like...
Yeah, I get it. It's the Breaking Bad effect.
See, like, I'm lucky where I watched Breaking Bad without any of the, like, context of how much people enjoyed it, and I got my own enjoyment out of it. I think it'd be different. It's like the same with The Sopranos. Like, I want to watch The Sopranos, but people say it's, like, one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Yeah, same.
And it's like, I have it, but I'm also scared to watch it in case, like, I don't
What if it doesn't live
enjoy
up to it?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Play it out of spite for me. So
Jesus
you
Christ,
you
I'm
can
not
try and say
paying the amount of money that Rockstar want
That's
for
fair.
it.
How much is it?
It's still like full price, isn't
It's
it?
still full price right now, which
So
is
that's like
50
$50.
bucks. On sale, the cheapest I think I've seen it's £19.
Yeah, and you can't even go to like CD keys.
Yeah,
to
no.
like get like a
Cheaper
like
copy.
Yeah, so I got it on sale, and I just felt the need that I wanted to like try it again. And I'm sorry, I can't help it. It was a really good experience, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, in terms of me playing it, like I'm probably not gonna do it anytime soon because it's one of those things where I need people to shift their focus to something else, and then
one day
it'll die down.
Be on sale, and it'll be like, you know what? Sure.
Yeah, as soon as GTA 6 comes out, everyone's attention, because Rockstar fans are babies that jangle keys, and gets the attention. Then
GTA 6 news.
That'll probably give me an opportune moment to eventually start it after that. Cause once I've played GTA 6, because I know I'm going to be there for that day one, depending on the price.
Well, if that day ever happens, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah,
as much as I did.
Because I genuinely was considering picking it up, and then you bought it, played it, and enjoyed it that much that I was like,
no,
I can't do it now.
You see, that feels spiteful.
It's not spiteful.
You can't. Come on, you say it like that. It feels spiteful.
It's not spiteful in a direct personal way. It's that
a collective.
It's that moment of, oh, it's not gonna live up to how much you enjoyed it.
I'm not saying it's perfect or anything.
No,
I really liked it, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. It's when someone really enjoys something, it's hard to pick it up immediately after that because it has to live up to that.
Yeah,
it needs to be in that.
And
moment,
I don't want to pressure you or anything. Like if you tell me, if you play it for like an hour or two and say it sucks, I'm not gonna give you too much shit for it. Because like, what am I gonna say to you? I enjoyed it a lot. I then bought the first game because this Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel game to the first game, and
so 2 is a sequel to 1.
It's a prequel to 1.
Prequel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
canonically, it takes place before.
Yeah,
okay.
because
the
like
second
Red Dead
game,
1,
technically the third.
to give like to give you context, Red Dead 1 starts you out as like, because they take place in the Old West, so you're playing as like this. Not old cowboy, but just sort of like a cowboy who's like from the last days of like the Old West, because a whole theme of the games is that the Old West is dying.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in like the early 20th century, like 1911-ish. And that whole game's plot is you basically rounding up and hunting down the 3 old members of this gang you used to run with. Whereas Red Dead 2 is basically the last days of that gang. Yeah. Basically fleshing out a lot of the characters, seeing a bunch of the story, and how... Even though you don't play as that character in Red Dead 2, you see how they got there and basically puts everything in place. And having played Red Dead 2, because I did try and play 1 at one point beforehand, I feel it really... Even though Red Dead 1's story is a bit more basic, classic Rockstar in its setup, because it's a 7th gen game, it had that style. I feel like even though the characters aren't quite as written as deep as they were in 2, I still felt there was a lot of context that I was happy to have that made its story more agreeable, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards, if you're going to play them back to back, play 2 first. Just to get that
character connection.
Just to get all that context that 1 kind of, even though it was written beforehand, it feels like it was kind of had that in mind from the start. And then I played through all of Red Dead 1 and felt such a, in an affectionate way, such a feeling of emptiness when it was gone. Because Red Dead 1's story is not happy. Yeah. It's not a great story. I'm not sure how much you know.
I've played some of it, and what I've played of it, it's very much the movie Unforgiven. Yeah. With Clint Eastwood.
It's a classic spaghetti western, whereas like Red Dead 2 is more of a modern western, if I had to somehow describe it.
I think both of them take cues from like the revisionist western, where it's like a bit more because like classic and spaghetti westerns often tend to cast the like cowboys as the good guys and the natives as the evil doers.
And like Red Dead 1 does this thing where even though you're working for the government technically, because there's a whole backstory there that he's basically been coerced by the government, they don't portray any of the lawmen as particularly great people or necessarily better than the outlaws. They basically just show that the antagonists of Red Dead 1 are just worse people. And Red Dead 2 follows a similar thing where like the whole theme of Red Dead 2 in its story is that the gang you're working for sees itself as a bit better than the other outlaws, but the reality is they've decayed so much that they're not really much better anymore. Like that's long gone. So, and long story short, end of Red Dead 1, you're basically feeling the culmination of all of it, leading to this sort of very depressing ending, where it feels like the consequences of the past, no matter how hard you try and like fight them, they can catch up to you anyway, no matter what. And sometimes the cycle just can't be broken. One ends in a sort of open-ended ending where it feels like maybe it could have, but like there's that very depressing side of it where it feels like this is all for nothing.
Yeah, I kind of know what happens at the end of Red Dead.
I don't want to spoil anything.
I mean, I know what happens to John Marston.
Yeah.
And
Not
then
John Marston. No.
it's the character you play.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I was, hey, you joke. I was genuinely yelling that at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1. I've been through so much with him, god damn it.
Melina's never going to play it, so I don't give a shit.
No, that's fine.
He dies.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then you play
He
as
dies
his
pretty
son.
brutally as well, because like the point is that after you've hunted down the last of your gang, John tries to live his simple ranch life with his family. He's basically trying his hardest to live a normal life for his family, but then the government agent would basically betrays him immediately, hunts him down and kills him anyway because he's an outlaw. He's bad.
Yeah.
And they want that recognition for killing all the outlaws. So John dies pretty fucking brutally.
Yeah.
And then Jack, his son, sees his dead corpse, like buries him. Then it cuts to a couple years later where he's buried basically everyone in his life.
Yeah.
And the last thing you do in the game is hunt down the agent that personally killed his dad, and the game ends with him basically immediately killing him, and then the credits roll, and it feels very empty. Because Jack throughout was in Red Dead 2 as well, and he was a child. He was like the most innocent character in Red Dead Redemption 2, so the whole story is basically watching this child go from an innocent little kid to someone who's very, very much, through no fault of his own at any point at the step, was basically forced to become broken.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Magnum opus. Would play again. Beautiful story. That's basically the last thing I've done.
Yeah.
There's no satisfying ending to this ramble.
Oh, cool. Oh, fuck. Great. It's back to me, and there's half of the episode left. Fuck.
It always ends up like this.
I don't know. Where do I start?
Conclave. The Pope dies.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll start with the movies then. Well, actually, before I watched Conclave, I watched Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine. That's what we've heard from everyone.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I'll read what I said on Letterboxd. I said superhero movie, political thriller, spy movie, Top Gun. Brave New World's biggest problem is that it can't decide what it wants to be. Actually, no. Its biggest problem is that it very much failed to read the room, and when you watch it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not made for now.
No,
it was made for really 10 years ago. Even then.
It's even weirdly like pre-Obama coded at times too. Like a lot of it is Obama era coded, which means it feels very tone deaf in our current political climate. But then also some of it's like very Bush era coded, and it's like how did you go 2 administrations back?
It was written by people who came of age in that era.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a trash fire. Yeah. I'm just kind of don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm just really disappointed where the MCU is at.
Yeah.
I hear Thunderbolts. I mean, the new Avengers is
Man, that pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Not even like a week after that.
Yeah,
movie
no,
came
it
out.
was just a big fuck you to anyone who did not go and see it day one in cinemas.
What's that?
I knocked my Dr. Pepper over.
Oh
That's
no,
fine.
not Dr. Pepper.
But yeah, no, that kind of annoyed me.
I feel like they needed to take the hint that people are not waiting.
Yeah.
People are not going to cinemas when you release it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That's when you do it.
Yeah.
Because then the people that watch in cinema are going to rewatch and be like,
Yeah.
wow, the people that I think we are in the mode of currently is like, I'll just watch it when it's dropped. Or when it's online or whatever.
I mean, they're dropping faster and faster anyway.
Yeah. Or you just don't change the actual title and leave it for people to watch it, no matter when they're watching it.
Yeah.
And if they get spoiled, that's the internet's fault.
Didn't, like, fucking Falcon and the Winter Soldier do something like that, where, like, it changed the name at the last episode to, like, Captain America and the Winter Soldier or something?
I
like
think so,
that?
yeah.
Because, like, so they've done that before, and they didn't change everything on Disney Plus, like, the moment the last episode came out. It still comes under Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I don't know why they felt the need to do that here.
Because, like, you can pull the whole asterisk thing off as well, like, open the film with the title Thunderbolts asterisk, and then you end the film with asterisk the New Avengers. Like,
that's fine.
Yeah, that's a really cool creative decision that Marvel hasn't done in a long time, because they're kind of sucking with the creative stuff right now.
Yep.
But you see, they were doing too good. They had to fuck it up somehow.
Were they doing good?
I mean, I've heard
with
that
this movie, apparently, yes.
I've heard people like it.
Yeah.
It's nothing from, like, you know, our favorite eras, but it's better than what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I haven't seen it.
No. I'll see it when it comes out in streaming or whatever.
Where we find it.
Yeah. Then I watched Conclave, not because the Pope died, but
That was a complete coincidence.
Yeah, complete coincidence. I was replaying Assassin's Creed 2.
Like, well, I wasn't playing 2, but you know, you're playing the series like me.
Yeah. I finished the Exo trilogy and I'm now just stalling playing 3.
Said you were gonna do it on Saturday and you didn't do it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The end of that game, you go beneath the Vatican and you have a fist fight with the Pope.
I mean, do you want to describe it the way you initially described it on Letterboxd?
It may seem that the passing of the Pope is the influence in watching this. Alas, I'm replaying the Assassin's Creed games and the fist fight with the Pope beneath the Vatican at the end of the second game.
I mean how you originally described it on Letterboxd. We had a fist with the Pope.
Oh, right, okay. I forgot about that.
I didn't. It was really funny because you sent it to me immediately after watching it, and the first thing I noticed when I was reading that paragraph was after you have a fist with the Pope. And I was like, "Whoa, buddy! You might want to change that."
So yeah, that reminded me the movie existed. It's really good. It's very much like a men in rooms talking film.
I love when men do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's very appealing, isn't it? Isn't it just great when you just sit down and have a bunch of men tell you things in a room?
Yeah, and like, you know, it's a whole old Constitution thing where they're like, no women allowed, no girls allowed.
Yeah. Hey, Isabella Rossellini's in it, and she's really good.
Yeah. Is she in the room though?
She's in some of the rooms.
Is she in the conclave room though?
No.
She's not in.
Exactly.
She's not in Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Oh, then I don't want to watch that either.
It's really good though. How did I describe it? The religious equivalent of A Few Good Men.
I get you.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's one of those ones where you both can spoil it and also don't want to spoil it. It's one that you kind of need to just sit down and watch. You know, it's
Does the Pope die?
The Pope dies.
No.
Ray Fiennes, fantastic. Stanley Tucci, fantastic. Who else is in it? There's a couple other people.
There's a Pope that vapes.
Is it
what?
What?
There's a Pope that vapes.
Is there?
There's a vaping Pope.
I can't remember.
The
I know a
vaping
bunch
Pope?
of them smoke, but I can't remember anyone vaping.
Is that the sequel to The Young Pope of the Vape?
I think I read an interview from, I want to say production design, and there was this one guy playing a Pope that asked if he could vape, and they were like, no. So that's just this thing in the background of Shaun.
Yeah.
He's just vaping. And they were like, actually, it's kind of funny to
Yeah.
get it in. Yeah.
We get it. You're the shepherd of all the Catholic Church.
You want to see some white smoke, bitch?
I'll get you that white smoke.
Oh yeah,
like cotton candy in here.
John Lithgow is also in it. He's pretty good. It's a really good movie. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I think it's just the ending that lets it down just a little bit. I think you kind of expect it to go in one direction and then it goes a little bit in a different one, and I'm not sure what they intended the final message of the movie to be with some of the decisions they made, because anyone who's watching this that is actually religious, they're gonna have a certain feeling towards how it plays out.
I'm curious on that now.
Satan becomes the Pope? you
I mean, and from a certain perspective of some religious people, might as well have been.
Yeah. Oh no, I think
There
I
is
know.
no Pope. He's just a robot.
Robo-Pope.
Robo-Pope.
There's a Pope on the road again.
Sorry, the Robo-Pope.
The Robo.
The Robo-Pope.
Robo-Pope.
Right it.
Hell yeah.
Then I watched The Apprentice. I watched those back to back.
Yeah, you did.
That was fucking
journey.
wild. It's not very good.
No.
It's
Yeah.
I'm not even sure like whether Sebastian Stan does like a great job of playing Trump, because Trump's a very animated and weird person in the way he speaks, and Sebastian Stan plays a very subdued version of that.
I always thought it was weird that they chose him to play it. Not that I don't think he could like pull off, because I think he is a good actor, obviously. I don't want to knock him for that, but I always thought it was such a strange choice for him to play Trump. I always think if you want someone to play Trump, even if he's young, you need some sort of weirdo.
Yeah.
You need some sort of weirdo who doesn't look like he belongs on the cover of
Nick
like
Cage.
a magazine. Yeah, Nick Cage.
I also think because Trump is such an animated person, you couldn't write him realistically without it being a comedy.
Yeah.
Which, speaks his character.
Yeah. This is like a...
It's meant to show like how he became who he is.
You can write
Yeah.
a Roy Cohn movie that's serious, I believe that, but you can't do it with Trump.
No, 100%. Roy Cohn's actually like the best part of the film. He's played by Jeremy Strong, who I think mainly known for what's that big TV show everyone was talking about? Severance. Not Severance.
Oh.
Is it Severance, or was it what's the one with the family and the business and the dad?
Breaking Bad.
No, the dad dies, and then it's like
It's
the
not
Succession.
Succession.
Yeah.
I think it was Succession.
Okay.
That he was mainly known for before this. Though he's been in like a bunch of other things, but I think that was his first kind of like really big thing.
Succession, the one with Brian Cox.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's easily the best part of the film because he plays Roy Cohn really well. Everything with just Trump and Sebastian Stan, you kind of realize that even though he's kind of the greatest antagonist of the 21st century,
At this point, yes.
he is a deeply fucking boring person.
Yes.
And nothing about his life is actually that interesting.
The most interesting part is that he's a piece of shit, and
Yeah.
people don't believe that.
Yeah.
And try to make that a sympathetic character.
Yeah. No, they don't try to make him sympathetic. They don't try to make him evil. They sit firmly on the fence and just deliver everything very matter-of-factly.
I think that's I mean,
worse.
I'm sure you talked about it a little bit on Letterboxd, but that feels like such a reason on why this movie kind of sucks, because
You're not getting either crowd to like it.
No.
Yeah.
it's not even just about getting crowds. It's about fundamentally, if you're making a movie on Trump, you're gonna have to have some sort of comment on him or something to say about him. Otherwise, what is the point of making the movie?
Yeah.
In this age, if you're gonna, he's such a significant figure in the overall landscape. You have to have something to say about him. Otherwise, you're just making noise for the sake of making noise with his face on it.
The only thing I could think that could maybe like mirror the situation, because it is weird that we live in such a world. Imagine if someone made a movie about Margaret Thatcher and was just kind of like, I mean, this is everything that happened. We're not saying it was good or bad.
The Iron Lady.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie and I can't remember a single thing about
Who's in
it.
it?
Was it Imelda Stilton? No.
Yeah, I think no, that was Meryl Streep.
Oh.
Yeah, Meryl Streep played Margaret Thatcher.
I mean, that's great.
I feel like that movie also I mean, it was such a long time since I've watched it.
Average of a 2.9 on Letterboxd.
Yeah, so like I
in
feel
the
like that
middle,
fell into the same trouble where it didn't try to say anything really about her like actual politics or what she's known for. More just
exactly.
about like either her character or
she's a woman in politics. I'm like, yeah, women
I'm
in
not even sure
politics
if it was
can be
about
pieces
that.
of shit.
I think at the end it just became about her dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even in The Crown, they don't really try and say that much about her.
It's so toothless.
Yeah.
Which just makes it really underwhelming to everyone around it.
Especially, like, doing a film about a political figure, you have to be political.
You gotta have a stance.
It's almost like they're political figure.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they made a big budget movie about Obama and just didn't really say anything about him at all.
Yeah.
Like, it would still suck.
Yeah, I mean, the film practically just ends with, like, him sitting down with the guy who Ghost wrote. Actually, maybe he is credited for writing the book, I'm not sure. Obviously, his first book being, I think it was The Art of the Deal. And he basically just sits down and says, I don't really want to talk about anything.
Wow.
And
Why
that's
are you
like,
here?
what? And then they kind of talk back and forth, and it pretty much just ends with him with the, like, reporter guy, like, digging a little bit and going, oh, so, and he talks about, like, he doesn't really care about making, like, the outcome of the deal. He just likes making deals. And the guy's like, oh, so the art of the deal. And basically the film just fucking ends.
Oh my god, it's the thing!
It's the thing!
It's like the worst Avengers ending.
Yeah, I was gonna say
of
Avengers
all time.
and then cut.
Yeah.
Like,
Age of
Avengers,
Ultron.
let's assemble. Okay, we're all here, but now.
It's like some kind of Infinity War.
We're in the Avengers 4 Endgame now. But like that was actually in the movie.
Yeah.
And they cut the credits there.
Yeah. Shame.
Yeah.
Why make a movie about a figure like that if you're not going to fucking say anything?
I think once he's dead, we might get some good movies.
I don't. Actually, yeah, fuck it. I hope it's soon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't condone death, but like, fuck it. I'm not gonna pretend that
I hope
I'm gonna
we
be
don't
sad that
get,
he dies.
I hope we don't get the gift of prophecy from this.
Oh no! Like tomorrow, look at me like, God damn it!
I'm editing the episode and I just like see that. Oh no!
No, we can't keep getting away.
Sorry,
Just
guys,
a weird cut in this episode.
Sorry guys, I fucked it up. I got hit with the dodgeball.
Good old, is it Sisyphus? Anyway,
One of them.
then actually the most recent one I watched was Days of Thunder, which is a Tom Cruise movie, directed by Tony Scott, brother of Ridley, also director of Top Gun. It's also produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, who also produced Top Gun. It is literally three of them got around again in 1990, sat down and went, what if we made Top Gun? But with cars.
Oh yeah,
Tom Cruise is like,
Cruise
yeah.
is ready.
The thing is, watching it, I was like, I really see where John Lasseter got the idea for cars. Down to one scene halfway through. There's a scene about halfway through the film, I think, that's just Cars 3.
Did Cars 3 do it better?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm so happy about that.
The first half of the film is essentially Cars 1 if Lightning McQueen doesn't get sidetracked into Radiator Springs.
Oh, so if he didn't have character development.
If he didn't have character development. The second half is just Cars 3.
What's wrong with Mater?
I didn't say anything about Mater.
What's
though
wrong with him?
Randy Quaid's in the movie.
Oh.
So, you know, they kind of got the Larry Cable-esque.
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy-esque person.
What's wrong with Gator?
And then the second half of the film is essentially Cars 3, except, you know, Tom Cruise isn't old. He's just Tom Cruise. And they get in an accident.
Oh no.
It's such a bizarre movie.
It sounds bizarre.
It has a Hans Zimmer score, except it sounds like Harold Faltermeyer's work for Top Gun, because they originally wanted Harold Faltermeyer. Yeah. But they couldn't get him because he was working on another movie, and so I guess they just brought in Hans Zimmer and went, just
do that.
Do that.
Cheers, thanks.
Which Hans Zimmer said, fine.
Yeah.
But I have like my own thing. No, we don't want. No.
Look,
just-
I'm getting paid. I'll do whatever.
Because if I remember correctly, I think Harold Faltermeyer also worked on Scarface.
Oh.
So he has like a very distinct sound. And it's not the Hans Zimmer sound.
No, because Hans Zimmer has a very distinct sound.
Yes.
sound as well.
Oh, sorry. Scarface was Giorgio Moroder, who is, Italian.
A lot of Italian composers.
Not Italian composer. So Harold Faltermeyer and Hans Zimmer are German. But yeah, it's okay. It's got a lot of neat ideas, a lot of good scenes.
Which is why we then made Cars.
Yeah. John Lasseter just watching it like, write that down, write that down.
Write that down. That's good.
There's a scene where like Tom Cruise gets in an accident and he's in like an MRI machine. And he can't currently see because he's like been temporarily blinded because of like swelling on his brain and stuff. And he says, could someone talk to me when I'm driving? I got a guy in the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me. And I was like, is this movie about to take like a genuinely
A nice turn.
Because that's a moment where I'm like, oh, this is not the goose scene from Top Gun, but like a moment of, introspection from the main character. And then no. He puts Nicole Kidman's hand on his penis in the next scene because he thinks that she is a strippergram.
Life is
Watch Cars instead.
Michael
I don't think
Rooker's in
that's the
this
song.
movie.
Is that the song you want to sing right after what he
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
Really
I'm
think.
trying to distract myself.
Yeah, but think through the lyrics.
He wants
Life
to
is
write.
a highway.
I wanna.
Ride it all night
The
long.
highway. This song is from Cars.
Disney Pixar.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's also in this film,
Oh, I love Michael Rooker.
and he just sort of disappears in the last act.
Tense with that. Yep.
Because he was also in the accident, and Tom Cruise fully heals, he's fine, but Michael Rooker ends up with a bleed on the brain, and he needs to get surgery to fix it. And it means he can probably never race again. So he asks Tom Cruise to race in his place, because Tom Cruise has also been, like, fired, essentially, at this point. So he's like, race in my car, my sponsors, blah, blah, blah. And then, so Tom Cruise agrees to it. He goes into the race. Nicole Kidman shows up. She's pit side, literally like, what's her face from Cars?
Female car.
The female car.
Sally,
yeah. Minus tramp stamp. She might have one, but we never see it.
Hey, it wasn't the mid 2000s yet.
Yeah. And he just never shows up again.
Wow, cool.
He asks Tom Cruise to race because he's got a lot of money on the line. He needs to support his family, pay for his house, blah, blah, blah. Tom Cruise agrees. Tom Cruise races.
Tom Cruise wins.
Tom Cruise wins, and at no point do they ever think,
We should.
let's cut
to
Michael Rooker in the hospital watching this unfold, because he has a bit of a rocky start of the race. In the middle, he kind of takes a few bumps, and it's only at the end that he actually like takes the victory. So it's like,
that would have been a great moment.
yeah,
For Michael
it
Rooker to
kind of
be like,
lacks
"No."
a lot of tension because you're just watching this race for the last
almost-
25 minutes of the movie.
It's almost like that's what the director cared about. The
I-
race.
I think the film wasn't shot with a finished script.
Oh, that's always great. That
So,
never hurts a movie.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
It was completed a couple of weeks before the first screening. In 1990, when they were shooting and editing on film. Yeah.
So watch Cars instead.
Yeah, watch Cars.
Listen to the soundtrack. It's kick ass. It's also got what's his name? David something Field. David Copper? No, not Copperfield. That's no. He's the lead singer of Whitesnake. He sings the credits song, which is like the only actual vocal track in the film, and it's like, okay, you have Danger Zone, you have Mighty Winds, you have Take My Breath Away, you've got like 3 other songs in Top Gun, and yet you have one in the credits of Days of Thunder. you could have probably done a couple other ones because like it's lacking a little Sam.
Little some.
Sam. For murdering the oil.
I think the way I described it is like it's okay, but it lacks a certain creative verve.
Yeah. That
kind of pushed Top Gun to be, a great film. But yeah, I think that's the movies I've been watching. I recently...
Now if we turn the page.
What have you been reading, Michael?
Oh, okay, we're going to that. I was gonna go to videos, but sure, we're going to reading.
I was trying to pivot to video games, but I realized turn the page basically is a lead into books.
Yes.
So
quickly, I replayed the Ezio trilogy. They start really great, and then they just sort of become good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Revelations. It's a great ending for Ezio's story, but like everything else about it's kind of...
Revelations is a game that lives and dies by its climax.
Yes, 100%.
It's a good climax.
It's such a great, like, crossing of all the paths. Where, like, Ezio, even though Altair at this point is dead and he's only seeing his corpse, that's the first time that Ezio and Altair properly cross paths. And then through time, Ezio reaches his fucking hand and like talks to Desmond.
Yeah.
And that's insane. Shame the rest of the game's kind of ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I remember it being fine.
It's not got a lot of story going on.
Nah. If I remember correctly, Ezio goes to Turkey and he deals with turkeys stuff.
Yeah, he needs to get the keys from Asayaf.
Sure.
And that's it. That's the driving force of the game.
Yeah.
And you don't really
guess what? Guess what? He gets the keys.
He gets the keys. You don't get the keys until the very end of the game, though.
Wow, what did the keys unlock?
A door.
To a vault. With a skeleton in it.
A skeleton in it.
Oh no!
Spooky, scary, I'll tell you. But you get a cool apple. It's gold and controls minds.
So like a Minecraft golden apple.
A little bit.
But it also controls minds.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh cool.
These games are so cool.
So cool, dude.
So cool, bro.
I'm kind of glad they ditched all this shit at some point.
I mean, they just stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, that's true. Then I played Silent Hill 2 Remake. Anyone who's seen the big long ass episode of Silent Hill.
I am jumping up and down going yippee.
I 100%ed that bitch in like 3 days.
Yeah, you did. It was kind of scary thinking back.
My hand was so sore.
How's that thumb?
It's fine now.
It's fine now.
Not so great last Wednesday. Yeah, that's great. No, genuinely fantastic game.
Any your thoughts compared to the original?
I still prefer the original.
Yeah.
I think it's the problem with it having a remake. If you've played the original, you can never recapture the experience of that story the first time.
Yeah.
And some of the story lives and dies by that first time.
That is
so
true.
It can't fully live up to that because you can't, experience it for the first time. I appreciate some of the changes they made, some of the fleshing out they did. That was really great. But I think the original version is just a little bit tighter of an experience.
I think that's from the people who have played the original. I think that's the general consensus. I do really like remake. And I've talked to you about this because on your second playthrough, I was basically there, just with like a voice in your head watching.
Yeah.
On a Discord call, but and I told you that like some areas, because the main thing about remake is that it expands basically every area and everything. I sometimes call it a Silent Hill 2 extended edition because that's basically what it is. And like some areas really benefit from the extension.
Yeah.
Like the prison area, I think like that's a really strong area. It can get a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
By the end, but I think it's still better than the 2 hallways that the original had.
Yeah.
Letting that pass.
Care.
Here. And the labyrinth. I think that really got helped by expansion because you've got like whole unique areas.
Yeah.
I think that. And the hotel.
Yeah.
I like the expanded hotel.
I like the expanded hotel. It feels like an actual hotel.
Yeah, instead of just a sort of place with rooms.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. But the first two areas, which is the apartment, or the first two dungeons, the apartment, and especially the hospital,
Yeah.
kind of overstay their welcome.
Yeah, I think that in the original, the first two dungeons, the apartments and the hospital, are probably like the most well-crafted sections. Yeah. And I don't think they needed to be wholly overhauled in the way that they were.
Yeah, I think the apartments, the remake tries and make them not feel like the same few hallways over and over again, but I argue that's a strong point in the
That's
original.
what apartment buildings are. So it's like...
It sort of feels like you're really hitting like a limbo stage, and I feel like that only gets exasperated when you hit the other world apartments. It sort of feels like you're falling more and more into this dream world that like the whole series is basically about. And the hospital, I think, is just there are some things I like about the new one. It's not bad in any way, but I think it is just overall a straight downgrade. Yeah. Because I think the original design and feel for the hospital is just right. So much so that 3 basically copy-pasted it.
Yeah.
Overall, I think, in terms of gameplay, remake maybe itches the original out a little bit for me, but there's a lot about the original that I think works. Yeah. And is definitely a much tighter experience. So, it's really down to preference.
Yeah, I mean, I still gave the remake a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, I have my critiques and stuff, but it still is, at its core, that game. Yeah. So... other games, I haven't really been playing anything else. So yeah, books.
Yeah, what have you been reading?
I guess books is where I went fully insane this time. And I read the entire A Court of Thorns and Roses series in, 3 weeks?
How'd you feel about that?
I mean, they're genuinely really fucking good. The 5th book is...
Well, now I don't feel like reading them.
Really great. Because I didn't know what to expect of it. So the first 3 books are all told from Feyre, the main character's perspective. So it's all first person. The second and third book have a couple of small chapters that take place from her, what would eventually become husband, for lack of any too convoluted and complicated explanations for the lore, husband.
Asterisk.
The
new partner.
There's a few chapters from his perspective that are also first person, but when you get to the 4th book, which is just like a novella, it's really short, it shows different characters' perspectives, and anything not those two is all third person. And I didn't realize that was a setup for the 5th book, which moves to Nesta and another character called Cassian's perspectives. I didn't realize it was fully transitioning into third person. So when I picked up the book and started reading the first chapter, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of weird because it's all the same places, names, characters, vibe, but the wording's different because when you shift from first to third perspective, things change a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so it means I thought it maybe meant I wouldn't be able to be as in Nesta's head as you are with Feyre, because you can't escape the mind of someone you're reading a first person perspective of, where it's too easy to feel estranged from a character if it's in third person. Yeah. Surprisingly, it's probably the most introspective book in the entire series so far, because it has to deal with like so Feyre, Nesta, and Elaine are all sisters, originally human at the beginning of the first book. At the end of the first book, Feyre becomes a fairy, and then at the end of the second book, Elaine and Nesta are forced to become fairies as well. They don't get a choice. They're literally awake and forced to become fairies, whereas Feyre dies, and that's how she becomes a fairy. She's made into one. And so, you know, now Nesta has to contend with she was forced to become a fairy, thrown into a cauldron, which is just the MacGuffin of the series. Don't worry too much about it. It does pretty much anything it needs to do. And so it's filled with liquid, so she kind of feels like she's drowning. And the book actually opens with like describing her experience of that. So like she's got the trauma of that to deal with, but also then at the end of the third book, she witnesses her dad get his neck snapped directly in front of her, unable to do anything.
Jesus.
So she's got a lot of shit to go through.
She got some trauma.
Yeah.
The girl's got trauma.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So it's a really good series. I'm looking forward to the next book because it's just one of those ones where like you kind of think from its reputation it's just gonna be like smutty fantasy.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
What if fairies clap cheeks?
Exactly. Whereas the first book, no cheeks are clapped until
Cheeks
like
go unclapped.
like 300 pages in. Like you have to be committed.
If you want the cheeks to clap, you gotta stay. Yeah, you gotta be committed to
This is porn with plot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Cheeks are clapped at the start of the second book, but very quickly.
It's there on the tags on AO3.
And then like the second book, the start is a bit more kind of like, you know, not smutty, but you know, there's more sexual stuff going on. But then like very quickly, Feyre's removed from the situation she's in, and nothing really happens for a lot of the rest of the book. And in fact, it's like a much more slow build up. So when stuff actually happens, you're kind of like, oh no, yeah, I kind of fuck with this. This feels earned.
If they don't just drop you into it, you're like, no, okay, this was going here. We all knew this was.
Because I guess I'll explain the plot of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I'm just gonna try and go really quickly over the entire series as it stands now. So if you want to read the books, leave. Everything else from now.
Well, that's us. I'll have fun. I will see you next week.
Is spoiler territory. So the first book, Feyre is hunting to feed her family. She finds this really big wolf that's about to kill a deer that she's been hunting. So she makes a snap decision to shoot it through the eye with an arrow. Even though the size of it, she kind of thinks maybe it's a fairy. It just dies. And then she's like, oh, I guess it was just a wolf. You know, skins it, takes the deer home, blah, blah, blah. Sells it, gets a decent amount of money for its pelt. She's like, great, I can feed my family. And then a big wolf thing, monster shows up. That's a fairy. The wolf was a fairy. And now she has to go live in Prithian, which is the fairy realms, with her captor, for lack of a better term right now, whose name has his her warden.
That's still very possessive.
Is still very possessive.
There's no way you're getting around it.
Called Tamlin. So she lives in the spring court because the fairy courts are all divided into spring, winter, night, day, dawn, blah blah blah. She's told there's a blight on the lands. She's worried it might, you know, start affecting humans. She starts slowly falling in love with Tamlin. They fuck.
In the human world, we call that Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
She gets sent back to the human realms because the blight's back. She runs back to Prithian to try and help. It turns out it's a woman, a fairy woman called Amarantha, who's just taken everyone hostage, put everyone under control. So she's trying to rescue everyone. She is put through 3 trials by Amarantha to save everyone. And at the end, she has to kill Tamlin. But because she has control of everyone, their hearts are stone. So she can just stab Tamlin and it doesn't matter. And then she saves the day. But Amarantha's evil, so she kills Feyre. And then because she saved everyone, everyone can just kill Amarantha. And then they all decide, with their powers as the High Lords of the courts, to revive her.
With their powers combined, to summon Captain Planet.
Pretty much. The effect of this is that she now has powers of every court. Because every court manifests different abilities.
She became a fucking White Lantern?
Pretty much.
From DC?
Yeah. So she has like the what is it, the day quartz fire abilities. She's got the spring quartz transformation abilities.
This is the fucking Tinkerbell movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's probably more accurate. I was also gonna say Avatar.
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, you're right.
So start of the second book, Tamlin and her are about to get married. He's kind of like keeping everything from her. He's not letting her discover the fact she has those powers and not letting her train with them, not letting her try to fight or defend herself or anything. So she's kind of just stuck being a damsel in distress.
Shit.
During her time trying to rescue Tamlin, she made a deal with a guy called Rysand. That's not how you pronounce his name, but I prefer it to Rysand because I would rather call him Rysand and Rice instead of Rysand and Reese. Because
Ryu and Ryu.
they're just not fantasy names to me. Rysand sounds more fantasy.
Yeah.
So he shows up at the wedding because he can sense that she doesn't want to get married. So he whisks her away. And a lot of the rest of the book is just her kind of like dealing with the trauma of one, dying and coming back.
That'll do something to you, yeah.
Also Tamlin's temper and general penchant of locking her up.
That'll do something to you,
Yeah, contending with the fact she has all these powers rattling around in her.
That'll you get it.
Yeah. And over the course of the book, she falls in love with Rysand, and it turns out they're mates, which means they got a special bond. I don't know.
Alpha Omega whatever.
Yeah. And so it spends.
I was gonna make another joke, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like that's sort of like the build up of the second book is like them kind of not them. Rysand figures it out the moment she's resurrected at the end of the first book and just disappears and doesn't say anything because he doesn't want to like. He's actually like
A decent person.
legitimately a decent person, and he's like, oh, I wouldn't if she chose Tamlin, he would have lived with it.
Yeah.
So he was willing to let her, make any decision she wanted to. And so the whole book sort of builds up to them kind of finally admitting their feelings to each other. She gets pissed off when she finds out that he knew for months upon end and never said anything. But they make up and they fuck ceaselessly for a while. It feels earned though at that point. It's
the
also,
tension, all that.
yeah, it's steadily hot for a decent part of that because the way it builds up.
Nice.
And then the third book is like a full out war between the other country called Highburn. Like they're mentioned. I'm just trying to streamline the plot. And then they're trying to like bring in all the courts together, which like kind of doesn't work. There's some people scheming against them. There's also the mortal queens who side with Highburn because they think that they can become high fae, become immortal, become beautiful for the rest of their lives, that sort of shit. And in the course of the war, Nesta their dad dies and Nesta's there to witness it. And then she kills the king of Highburn as a result, but she then has to contend with it throughout the rest of Frost and Starlight, the fourth book, and Silver Flame, the fifth book. And she has perspective to Nesta and Cassian, who also turn out to be mates, because I guess no one in this world can be single and happy.
Not in this very realm,
Not
fucker.
in this very fucking realm.
But
they mean very fucking realm.
Oh, yeah.
But Nesta and Fair are like very different characters. Like Nesta's a lot more hot, like tempered and quite standoffish. She's never really felt like she's fit in anywhere because like their family was kind of well off and the mum tried to like push them to like courting rich families and stuff, and so she kind of never felt that at home with any of it. And so like she has to contend with just kind of figuring out who the fuck she actually is. And like that's kind of interesting. So for a character that you've kind of got to know a little bit over the course of like 4 books, you get to like see them fully come into their own over the course of the 5th one, and that's really interesting.
Basically a side character becoming the main character and going, wait, hold on, what do I do as a main character?
Yeah, because like
Shit, y'all are looking at me now?
Shit, I got a full personality now? Fuck.
The third book kind of wrapped up Farah's story. So like Farah's still around, and like she gets pregnant during the 4th book, or is it the fifth? No, you find out she's pregnant at the beginning of the fifth book. And so, like, she's pregnant throughout the course of the fifth book. So, like, she's still there. There's still stuff going on. And genuinely, there's a really great bit at the end going through her pregnancy that's just really emotionally intense. Like, I cannot talk about it because it's too intense. But genuinely, I don't think I've ever read a book where I've been that much of an emotional wreck at the end, because you get the character development coming to a head for Nesta. And then, obviously, the emotional thing of a character you've known for over the course of 5 books as the main character for 3 of them, going through what she goes through at the end of the 5th book. So I'm interested to see where it goes now, because, like, does it stick with Nesta as the main character, or does it move to someone else and develop them? Because I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And Nesta and Cassian's relationship's substantially different from, like, Feyre and Rysand's, because, like, they're very lovey-dovey, whereas Nesta and Cassian, it's like they clearly have feelings for each other, but they're like, it's just sex. It's just sex. There is so much fucking in A Court of Silver Flames. It's, oh my god. Yeah. Court of Silver Flames is the whole series, it's interesting because, like, the first person perspective means that you're reading sex scenes from as a guy, I'm reading sex scenes from a female perspective, which is like descriptors of things I just actually
never thought about.
About and can't ever understand.
Yeah.
Like certain descriptions and stuff. And it's like, what's the one that stuck in my mind? I think Feyre at one point described like her breasts feeling like pebbles and collapsing and stuff. Like
that is
and
a very
I was like,
fan-fiction-y thing. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I can't ever fathom that idea. You know? Like, it's so alien to me.
I'll explain it to you later.
Okay.
There's a whole thing, man.
Okay. Because there are some things that, like, you can kind of, like, glean an understanding of, like, you know, the heat and core or whatever. Like, that's a common description of it. And it's like that I can sort of, you know, get. But other stuff, like, I don't have any ones off the top of my head aside from that one, but like there's a few where you're like reading it as a guy and like I guess I'll just never
you'll just never know.
Yeah, I'll just never know. Like, you can put those words on the page, but I'm never gonna have a touch point of understanding for that. So that's really interesting. But yeah, no, it's genuinely really well crafted fantasy. So I recommend anyone who likes fantasy to, like, at least give it a read. The first book I like the first book. It's probably the weakest one of the entire series, just on the sheer fact that it has to set everything up, and then because everything gets so much more interesting later, it kind of becomes a bit more simple and uninteresting in retrospect. But yeah, I recommend it. I fuck with it. I also read A Wizard of Earthsea. No, don't read it.
Oh well.
And I'm reading Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
It's fine, don't read it.
Cool.
Well, what an anticlimactic end.
Yeah, I'm just stalling for time because, like,
fine.
I didn't at the time. I needed to wait until I get paid to buy the box set for Throne of Glass, which is another Sarah J. Maas series, and the third book for the Crescent City series isn't out in paperback yet. So I didn't want to start reading the first two in case I got to the end of those. So I'm just waiting on, like, that coming out. I now have the box set for Throne of Glass, so I'm going to read that once I finish Salem's Lot, or depending on how it goes in the next maybe like couple hundred pages, I might just
fuck it, leave it,
DNF it and go on to Throne of Glass. But yeah, this has been another longish episode because I've been rambling.
As always.
Who wants to listen to this? Who wants to listen to me describe the plot of A Court of Thorns and Roses, man?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm sure there would have been plenty of people that wanted me to talk about the plot of Red Dead Redemption if I could have been able to.
I told you should have.
No. I don't want to spoil the second game.
Oh my god. See, this is the difference, is I usually end up watching, reading, or playing stuff you guys are just never going to touch.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that might be
still a chance you're going to play.
Yeah.
You're gonna play
I would let you borrow the books if you wanted to read them.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get into another reader's high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.